I'm sure all of us, at some point in our lives, have been curious of the great evils out there, of serial killers who killed without any sign of remorse.
I have to admit, Josh, as a true crime fan, I do that a lot. Welcome everyone to Eventful Insights. I'm Nick, and I'm here with my partner Josh to tell you about the 8 most deranged and terrifying serial killers of all time.
Thanks for that killer introduction, Nick. No pun intended.
I see what you did there, Josh. But as much as I want to have a lively atmosphere for today, I think that would be a hard thing to do.
You're right, Nick. This may just be the calm before the storm as we delve into all the cruel acts that our top 8 serial killers did.
Well, Josh, I think it's time we brave the storm.
Before that, Nick, I just want to ask our audience a trivia question. Which serial killer was arguably the most sensationalized in the 1970s and charmed his victims so he could kidnap and kill them? Was it A, Jeffrey Dahmer, or B, Ted Bundy? We won't be telling you the answer just yet. You'll have to find that out by sticking out for this whole video.
I'd say that's a win-win situation. Our audience will get to have more trivia knowledge all while getting served all the gruesome true crime details.
Exactly, Nick. So why don't we get started? Our top 8 on the list would be Luis Garavito. Luis Garavito, also known as the Beast, was a Colombian serial killer who admitted to the slaying of over 190 children. Born on January 25, 1957, he was convicted of murdering 189 boys in the 1990s, targeting many unattended children of street vendors by enticing them with promises of money or a drink.
Garavito's arrest in April 1999, initially on an attempted rape charge, led to his eventual confession to the murders. He received a staggering 835-year prison sentence for his heinous crimes. While there were concerns about his potential release in recent years, Garavito passed away in 2023 while serving his lengthy prison term.
I can't believe we're only starting off with our list, Nick.
I get what you're saying, Josh. Right off the bat, I already feel bad from reading this case.
You'd have to hold on tight because our top 7 isn't any kinder. We have Harold Shipman. He was born on January 14, 1946, in Nottingham, England, was a British doctor and serial killer responsible for the deaths of approximately 250 patients, as determined by an official inquiry. He faced legal consequences when convicted on 15 counts of murder and 1 count of forgery, resulting in a life sentence.
Shipman took his own life by hanging in his prison cell. The revelation of Shipman's crimes occurred in the 1990s, although the complete extent of his actions might not have been fully understood until then.
Is it cruel to say that I hope he didn't kill himself in prison to escape what he did to all of his patients?
No, I think it makes sense that you feel that way, Josh. But let's not get too attached with these cases because they're not going to get better as we climb the list. For our top 6, we have Pedro Alonso Lopez. Pedro Alonso Lopez, also known as the Monster of the Andes, is a Colombian serial killer and child rapist who is believed to have taken the lives of at least 110 individuals, primarily young women and girls, between 1969 and 1980.
Despite claiming responsibility for over 300 murders, Lopez's whereabouts have remained unknown since 1999, and there has been no trace or communication from him since then.
The fact that they haven't found him scares me a lot. Let's hope old age gets to him and makes him too weak to go on a killing spree again.
I worry about that as well. How many serial killers are at large right now that we just don't know about yet? The thought alone mortifies me.
Me too, Josh. Well, we need to keep going on our list. At top 5, we have Richard Ramirez. After leaving high school, Ramirez turned to breaking into homes, engaging in a spree of violent offenses that included a minimum of 13 murders. His method typically involved invading homes, subjecting victims to rape, torture, and murder, with the addition of leaving satanic symbols at the crime scenes. Although convicted and sentenced to death, Ramirez passed away in prison while awaiting execution.
Again with escaping the consequences of their actions.
I feel the same frustration, Josh. But let's not overwhelm our audience.
You're right, Nick. How about we take a quick break and ask them another trivia question?
Okay, here's another one. This serial killer is most famous for being a clown at charity events and uses it to lure his victims. I won't be giving choices for this one since it would be very obvious later on in this video of who I'm talking about.
Thanks for the trivia question, Nick. Now going back. Our top 4 is Albert Fish. Fish is thought to have murdered 3 to 10 victims, with the most notorious being the abduction and killing of Grace Budd in 1928. While incarcerated at Sing Sing Prison in Ossining, New York, Fish was granted the opportunity to write a series of notes detailing his crimes. The content of these notes was so horrifying that his lawyer opted not to disclose them to journalists. Although the media frequently exaggerated Fish's criminal acts, highlighting the most shocking aspects and his peculiar behaviors, like consuming urine and fecal matter with a boy he was romantically involved with.
I wouldn't want to know the contents of that note. I mean, to have even your lawyer unable to defend your actions, that's something else.
I agree with you, Nick. I'm glad they didn't disclose the note to the public.
Now down on our top 3, we have John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy carried out his crimes by strangling victims following sexual assault and torture. The majority of his victims were buried beneath his house, while some were discovered in the Des Plaines River. Despite his public image as a sociable individual who performed as a clown at charitable events, Gacy's dark side was exposed when he was arrested in 1979 and subsequently convicted of 33 murders in the following year.
He faced execution by lethal injection in 1994. In secret recordings made during his incarceration, Gacy chillingly discussed some of the killings, providing shocking and nonchalant details about the methods used to take the lives of his victims.
I think that would finally justify my fear of clowns.
Well, I wasn't so scared of them before until now.
I looked back at the pictures, and I can't imagine the children not getting scared of him.
Well, it was a different time back then, I think. Anyways, for our top 2, we have Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, an American serial killer and sex offender, took the lives of 17 men and boys from 1978 to 1991, gaining notoriety for his macabre crimes involving cannibalism and necrophilia. Dahmer would entice his victims, predominantly black men, to his residence under false promises of money or sex. Subsequently, he would administer alcohol laced with drugs before strangling them.
Engaging in disturbing acts with the lifeless bodies, Dahmer would then dismember and dispose of the remains, sometimes retaining body parts as mementos. Captured in 1991, he received 16 life sentences, but was killed by a fellow inmate in 1994. Despite a seemingly normal childhood, Dahmer became increasingly isolated as he grew older, displaying little interest in hobbies or social interaction. Prior to his demise, he expressed remorse for his actions and identified as a born-again Christian.
I think aside from our top 1 off the list, Dahmer is one of the most sensationalized serial killers.
I think so too, Josh. Didn't we have a retelling of everything he did to his victims in the Netflix series titled Dahmer?
I remember that show. Though I can't enjoy the show at all, the injustices and the impact on the affected families really grounded me to reality.
Well, we're finally on to our last name on the list. I think this one's pretty obvious. The first spot is snagged by no other than Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, a notorious American serial killer, rapist, and necrophiliac, instilled terror in the United States during the 1970s. His deceptive and manipulative tactics, combined with a charming and intelligent demeanor, allowed him to victimize numerous individuals. While Bundy admitted to the murders of at least 30 women, the actual count of his victims is suspected to be much higher, possibly exceeding 100.
In 1989, he faced execution in Florida's electric chair for his heinous crimes, leaving a lasting impact on popular culture through various books and films about serial killers. Despite his outwardly normal appearance and adept social skills, Bundy led a double life, preying on young women across multiple states. His ability to seamlessly blend in and gain the trust of his victims rendered him a particularly dangerous and elusive criminal. Bundy's case serves as a chilling reminder of the dark depths hidden beneath a seemingly ordinary exterior, contributing to the ongoing fascination and examination of his criminal exploits in the realm of true crime.
Well, there you have it. This list stands as a clear reminder that we have to observe constant vigilance.
That's right. Never let your guard down around strangers. There's always evil lurking around us.
If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up, click the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel to get updated on our next video. Thanks for watching.